Hello and welcome, friends. If you're still using words like amazing, very, nice, repeatedly in your daily conversations, then it is high time that your vocabulary could use some overhauling.
Watch this video till the end to learn 20 overused daily conversation English words and the possible alternatives that you could use and stand out in the crowd. Also, if you are new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe for more videos on improving your overall personality and thereby making you, as we say, effortlessly smart. Now, let's start the list.
Amazing.
It is very common for us to quote anything the slightest bit good as amazing. The dictionary meaning of amazing is causing astonishment, great wonder, or surprise. So next time you have the urge of describing something as amazing, take a pause and think about what you really mean. Would good suffice? Or great, or perhaps you actually mean astonishing, stunning, or jaw-dropping? In which case any of those words will better convey your meaning than the diluted amazing. Interesting. As this word is used so often and in such vastly different contexts, it's sometimes difficult to discern what you really mean by interesting, good, bad, intriguing, bizarre. The dictionary meaning of interesting is holding the attention, arousing interest. So next time, try to be more specific by choosing a synonym like engaging, gripping, riveting, or captivating. A lot of. Alright, technically, this is 3 words, and no, it is not a lot of. However, there are more concise ways of describing abundance, depending on the context, such as copious, numerous, plentiful, myriad, or even oodles, if you would like to sound casual. Very or really. Very, and really, are frequently used as intensifiers meaning, to a great degree, and, are often used interchangeably. But, if you want to add emphasis, you can better try, truly, genuinely, exceedingly, profoundly, especially, particularly, or uncommonly.
Literally.
One of the most rampantly misused words, literally, refers to the most basic, straightforward meaning of something, as in, the opposite of figuratively. So, if you say, I was literally drowning in paperwork, that means your body really was submerged in a pile of papers. If that's not truly what happened, but you feel you must intensify your statement, try positively, or absolutely, which add emphasis without making it seem as if your life was in danger. Nice. You can do so much better than nice when you want to describe someone agreeable. Are they thoughtful, compassionate, gracious, affable, accommodating, charming? There are literally, really, dozens of more precise words to substitute for the catch-all, nice.
Hard.
Hard is generally used to describe something that is requiring considerable physical or mental effort. You could swap it with demanding, arduous, onerous, grueling, exacting, laborious, challenging, or plain old, difficult. Change. While there is nothing wrong with the verb change, but if you've used it 5 times in a 4-paragraph article, using an appropriate alternative will elevate your writing. Depending on the context, you could use alter, transform, revamp, modify, fluctuate, vary, shift, or metamorphose, to name a few examples.
Said.
Even if you don't have journalistic ambitions, synonyms of said sure come in handy when you are quoting multiple sources. You can try using stated, announced, disclosed, claimed, argued, or explained. Important. Have you ever thought that when something is really important, why do we always feel the need to add really? Words that do a better job of communicating importance than important include crucial, essential, critical, vital, imperative, pivotal, momentous, and if you like to add a dramatic feel, earth-shattering.
Big.
Is it just big, or is it colossal, massive, vast, ample, bulky, hefty, immense, extensive, enormous, astronomical, or even gargantuan? Switching to the right adjective can paint a more vibrant picture.
Bad.
Well, it might be that bad doesn't cut it when you are trying to express how you feel about the movie you saw last night. Was it subpar, crummy, lousy, or even abysmal, atrocious, or deplorable? Take your pick.
Happy.
There is a word for every shade on the happiness spectrum. If you're feeling happy, that could mean you're pleased, cheerful, contented, delighted, thrilled, elated, gleeful, ecstatic, and the list goes on. Like, using the verb, like, is the simplest way to show partiality towards something, but you could also consider favor, prefer, care for, enjoy, relish, appreciate, adore, cherish, and dig. Unique. Unique refers to something that is the only one of its kind, but the word has lost some of its potency over time, as it is now being used to describe anything remotely unusual. To indicate that something is different from the normal, try another word such as exceptional, distinctive, idiosyncratic, atypical, extraordinary, anomalous, or peculiar.
Incredible.
The primary definition of incredible is too extraordinary and improbable to be believed, but nowadays, the word is more frequently used informally as a synonym for great or impressive. Choose another adjective to avoid ambiguity. Is the plot of that novel you're reading excellent, fabulous, or superb, or is it implausible, far-fetched, or unconvincing? Look. Bring that anecdote to life by trading. Look for a more revealing verb such as stare, glance, eye, peep, glare, peek, gape, leer, gaze, ogle, or squint. Hate. At some point in life, we have all said, I hate this, when what we actually meant was, I mildly dislike this, so often that hate has lost some of its punch. But if you feel that strongly about your distaste for broccoli, you could say you abhor, despise, loathe, or detest it. Ridiculous. We tend to exaggerate when we use this word. Most things we call ridiculous aren't really so foolish or pointless as to be worthy of scornful laughter, which is the definition of ridiculous. Related, but less extreme, words include silly, asinine, and laughable, and less tried alternatives include absurd, ludicrous, and preposterous.
Perfect.
There's more than one way to brag about that perfect dressing sense you have got. Not just perfect, it could also be flawless, immaculate, impeccable, irreproachable, and masterful. So these are 20 words that we overuse in our daily conversations and can be effectively replaced.
Please like the video and don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos to upgrade your personality. Also, tell us in the comments which words you think you tend to overuse.